Oh man, it's one of those things when you think you're hitting the go live button and you hit the done button. I'm like, how can I be done? I just got started. I haven't even gotten started. How can I be done? And the fact is, I'm not done. I'm just getting started. Anyhow, let me do this so I can see your comments larger than my face. Hopefully, you can see and hear me, even though I'm kind of rambling and tambling here. Good evening. Good evening. Let me try the chat. This is the chat. Can you see and hear me? There we go. There we go. Cheryl Siegel, I see you saying good evening. I say a good evening right on back to you. There we go. Okay, you see me. Good evening. Okay, good stuff. Whew, folks, Monica, nice to see you. Heather MC, I love it. And you know what? I think if there were ever going to be a like a destination decluttered inspired emoji, it would be the green check mark. Getting stuff done. I love it. Patty M, good evening to you as well. I totally give Kat Roby props for the green check marks. Carla's here. Hey Carla, nice to see you. Is this thing on? It is. I love it. Good evening, everybody. I will admit to you, I am kind of beat. I got a lot of stuff done today. A lot of good stuff happened. You can see that I had some stuff scheduled, and then there's many things crossed out over here. And I am in the process of opening up the good book, my book of good stuff that I have done and made happen and has happened to me. So good evening. Are you writing good stuff down? Try it. It helps you remember. It helps you remember the good stuff. Now I love this. Carla Jane did a great thing. She paid attention to her human body. Our human bodies gets tired, right? And she says, I took a 2-hour nap this afternoon. I think that's wonderful. I do. I know Louise had taken some rests yesterday. We are not machines. We are human beings. And we, like cars, have a gas tank that gets empty. And if you don't fill it and you try to drive on empty, it ain't going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty. So, yay for doing that. I will share with you that I cannot wait until, not like this, it was about to come out wrong. I look forward to spending a quality amount of time, a 50, 58, 57 minutes with you guys tonight. Then, as we sign off, winding down my day, doing just the few things left on my, I almost did that little tickety tick thing that bugs me. I'll just Carol Merrill my hands here, doing the few things on my habit tracker that I do at night, feeling good about those. It's been a good day. Yeah, maybe it was a day for napping. Now I love it because one of the things I did today that took some time was I unwrapped our new patio furniture, and man, did I test that out as far as this is the corner I'm going to be sitting in reading a book and taking a nap. So I love that. Yeah, Laura Voorhees says good evening. I napped too and donated blood and felt extra sleepy this afternoon. Yes, you donated blood. You donated time and energy. So I love that you did that. I am very proud of you for doing that, donating of the blood. That's awesome. I'm a bit of a baby about that, I will confess. So I love that you did that and that you allowed your body to recover from what it has temporarily lost. That's the same thing with energy. So naps, and especially at our age, even little kids and older folks, who does not benefit from a nap? You know, even when you used to go out to clubs, you used to sometimes, now more than often, it's like a disco nap, you know, the nap before you go out, you know? Oh, oh, yeah. Carol says, if you ever think folks can't change, whoo, buddy, they so can. I had my one-on-one with my buddy Beth, that would be me, this AM, and I was late from sleeping late this morning too. That's okay. Sleep is good. You know, what is it? Stir up the Campbell's, soup is good food. Sleep is good. Yeah. I love it. Again, paying attention. If we go no further in the process of what we talk about all the time, then the body scan and responding to how you feel, we have done a really great thing. Heather MC says, I had a long list of things to do, but had a bad health day. Oh, hun, that sucks. So I reprioritized and with great effort got one thing done, but it was important and all I could manage. So I'm calling it a win. 100% call it a win. You got something important done even when you didn't feel well. That's like a win plus. Remember, you'll be check, check plus, check minus. That is a check plus. Okay. Um, hey, I love this. Monica Kennedy says, I've been preparing for my daughter's baby shower I'm hosting Saturday. I've decluttered my brain. That just feels good even saying that. I've decluttered my brain by writing everything down and organized into days I could get things done ahead of time. Yes. Yes, and totally, Laura Voorhees. Listening to yourself. Treat yourself. Listen to yourself. Yes, it's smart. So often we've been taught to ignore what goes on inside us and to pay attention to other people. Now's the season. Now's the season to reclaim it, to take back your power, to start paying attention to what's going on with you. I love it. Monica the organized. I love it. I'm Beth, the kind of tired because I got some good stuff done today, but it's good, a good tired, and I know I'm going to sleep well. So this is the point when we do these evening YouTube lives. We've got a nice core group of people. It's always a nice little group, and um, reflecting back, looking in the rearview mirror of the day and saying, "Ooh, why am I so tired?" Oh, and if you have written things down and crossed them out, you have a paper trail. Literally, you can backtrack on your map and say, "How did I get here? Well, this happened and that happened and that happened. Oh, is it any surprise I'm tired?" You know? Hey, there we go. Louise chunked it down today. Louise listened to her body the other day and she said, it's time for me to take a rest. But she says, after your live this morning, I worked on the bedroom in 10 to 15-minute increments and would rest in between. Oh my God, I love this. So there is improvement, chunking it down. A chunk for work, a chunk for rest, a chunk for work, a chunk for rest. It's like Neapolitan ice cream with another flavor in there for the heck of it. Ah, hey, I love it. Laura, I live in Brooklyn and see your name everywhere I go. Ooh, I don't know who's hopefully that means the Voorhees. I love it. Very cool. Yes, and we are strong, smart, good, super cool folks. Yay. Good stuff, people. Good stuff. I will repeat to you just to remember when you look back on what you did today, look back with look through the eyes of love as at what you did today. Celebrate the moments of your life like a what was it? International General Farms? No, General Foods International Coffee. But also the things you didn't get to do today. That's okay. It's okay. Forgive yourself your trespasses, you know? Um, and put it on tomorrow's list. Or if you know you're not going to get it done in the next few days, put it back up on your master list. That's what I do. I have some things that sometimes I'll write it down and I'll write it down to remember it, but I know I'm not probably going to do it in the next couple of days or so. So I just put it back on my master list. And when I'm ready to do more things, I have that list to go kind of choose from, kind of picking grapes and putting little grapes on my list. So I look at what I did and I had a plan. Did everything go as planned? No, but I had structure with flexibility. Think about the way they build buildings. You need structure, but if they are not flexible at a certain point, everybody who's been to or seen New York knows these wicked tall buildings that there needs to be some flexibility in them or they will crack and break. Same thing with people, you know? Ooh, Therapy Gal Sue is working on moving 3 websites from one hosting service to another. Big decluttering from Procrastination Corner. And you know how I'm assuming you're going to do that is one at a time. I love that. I recently had to update my phone, and so I'm between phones. It's kind of funny. It's doing it a little bit at a time. Okay. Now, Monica says, I'm good at writing lists, but if no time constraints, it's hard to get motivated to get things organized in my house. Monica, this may help you. Remember the name of my coaching. I will tell you, I often will forget why I call, like, I will forget the destination. Like, where's my head? I should be moving over here a little bit between the car and the heart, right? Or between the car and the heart, as we would say up in Boston. So a list is just kind of in a cloud. A list exists. It's not tethered to a date. It's not tethered to a time unless you decide to create kind of a ribbon attached from the thing to a day and a time and an amount of time. So when you find yourself hard to get motivated to do the things on the list, I think one of the things that might help you is to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And I mean it not in a like, why am I doing this? But when you ask it to yourself out of genuine curiosity, I hope the answer is because it's going to make me feel better, because there's something good in it for me. Because if there's something you're doing and there's no good in it for you, I want you to question why you're doing it. This does not make you greedy, but it does say, what's in it for me? I want to feel, so I would say this, Monica, maybe you've just lost sight of, or maybe you just never really kind of identified your destination. A house that looks the way I want it to look, that functions the way I want it to, easy to maintain, and I feel good when I'm in my house. Every task on your to-do list should relate to one of those three categories if it is decluttering. Even the stuff that's on your list of to-dos, if it's not decluttering, what is the positive result? What is the good thing that's going to happen when you do that thing? All righty. I love this. Oops. Carla Jane had a big victory today, of which I hope you write down in your good book. The Surveyor, I've been waiting for 10 months, is out now. Found someone else, new guy, has it ready, bringing it tomorrow, and explaining it to us tomorrow morning. Don't you love it? It is important to find the right people to help you. Sometimes you think somebody's going to be the right one and it doesn't work out. We've gotten some stuff done at the house and we've learned that the hard way, but keeping up and finding the right people. So great stuff. Good stuff, Christine. Hey, nice to see you on the West Coast. A lot earlier than it is here on the East Coast. Here's a good thing. See this? Is my cup of water. I use this to measure how much water I drink, and I'm hoping that I've drank more than this, but just in case, I am going to, one of the things I want to make sure that I do is drink more water. And even if it means I have to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, drink some water. Drink some water. You will water down. You will water down some of the stuff. You will help things flow out of you. Okay. So I'm going to hopefully remind myself to, I'll pick a word. I'll pick down, maybe. I'll pick a word, and if I repeat it, I will drink my own water down. Okay. Carla Jane says, bless you. I'm still trying to figure out how to get pictures from my phone to my computer to my attorney. Okay. Carla, I can help you with that. But the other thing I will say to you, Carla, is this is what I did today to find out to do something with pictures on my phone. I Googled it. I Googled, how do I put a photo into a hidden folder on my iPhone? And I realized I had one step that I was off with. One step. So you might want to, if you don't know how to do it, ask the hive mind. Ask, the resource that we are benefits of, which is the internet. I bet there are a couple of steps you can follow to do that. There's probably many ways. And my way may not be the best one. Yeah, Deanna says, Chat GPT even better. Okay, so maybe, yeah, I got to start playing with Chat GPT. I still basically use Google as Chat GPT. But I love that idea. So yeah, use the resources we have. That's great. Big hugs of support to everybody. I love this. I will share this with you. So I mentioned this on one of my lives recently, and I want to get in the habit of mentioning it more often, which is this: pen pals. Did you ever have pen pals when you were growing up? Somebody you didn't really know, but you got their address and you would exchange letters and stuff? I had a bunch of them. Not a bunch, but I had a handful of them when I was in junior high and high school. And I think it's really cool to get to know people and be connected in that way. Now, somebody had suggested, trying to coordinate a meeting up of people, destination declutterers. I will be honest with you. I don't say this to be a party pooper, but I don't know if I'm going to do that anytime soon. However, I don't want that to stop you from getting in touch with some people who are saying, yes, I'd like to meet some of my fellow declutterers, okay? Or destinationites or whatever we want to call ourselves. So here's what I offered, and some people have already taken me up on it. If you say, hey, I would like to, put my, exchange my info with other people on the, in the group, send me that request at an email, Beth at destinationdecluttered.com. And um, I will keep that stuff. I will keep it safe. And I will only share it with who wants to be shared when we have a nice little core group of it. Okay. Even in the meantime, I don't know. Sometimes on Zoom, you can do like a private chat with somebody. I don't know if you can kind of private chat with somebody here, but you might be able to say, Carla says, sure, send my emails, whatever. Just write it to me as an email. That is actually a visual reminder of me to do that. Okay. So, yeah. And so seriously, you could do it right now if you want, or write a note and do it first thing in the morning. Beth at Destination Decluttered. And just send me an email and says, sure, I'd love to get my email. I'd love to swap recipes, swap these things. Maybe what we do is I'll put together a Zoom or something for the people who want to get to know people and make it more of a social thing, or something. I haven't quite figured it out, but I know there's something good there. And I want to help people feel more connected to good people in these times that can be so separating and divisive and stuff like that. Support and community is what's going to help us all get through these really crazy times, both clutter wise and otherwise. Okay. So I got to remind myself to say that more often. So tonight I'm mentioning it to you guys. Tomorrow morning's a big one. I got to get my big mug of tea because we've got a 8 a.m. TikTok live, a 9 a.m. declutter party. 9 a.m. declutter party. If anybody wants to join the party, we've got some party people. 9 to about 10:30ish, and then 11 o'clock YouTube live. So it's a very busy morning tomorrow. And I love when people here are starting to recognize each other's names. Notice one of the things, like I have it. I have a list of gratitudes that I wrote down for myself about, and I actually called it my awesome life. And one of the things I've written to myself is I am grateful that I am connected. I enjoy being connected in person and virtually with friends, kindred spirits, and family. That is something that is part of my awesome life. So I share that with you. The connection between you and other good people can help you feel better in your life. Being isolated and being afraid you're alone, not so much. So I love it. The fact that I see people kind of waving at each other and saying, hey, friend, and nice to see you. I love that. That's one of the reasons I do these YouTube lives and TikTok lives, is to give a reason to connect. I realize it's kind of like the hub. I'm the hub, even though I'm the wife, I'm the hubs. I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. So yay for people getting together and supporting each other. Um, my friend Eric Huey and Mother Jones would say, I'm yours in the struggle. I'm with you in the struggle. And we're all going through something, but that's okay. That's part of life, is going through something. Sometimes it's sad stuff. Sometimes it's good stuff. Oftentimes it's just it's a roller coaster ride, but a fun roller coaster ride. Yay. Good stuff. Everybody's waving at each other. I love it. I love it. So, what else can we talk about today? Oh, here's a fun thing. I'll share this with you. I shared this with Carla, and I want you to think of, sometimes when you are decluttering, you are going to temporarily put things in a place that you know is not their forever home. Case in point, the hallway outside of this room. The neat thing is literally at the beginning, they're going to do one more coat. By the end of next week, we're going to start moving stuff down there. It's going to be awesome. Um, staging, staging things. Don't be afraid saying, I feel like I'm just moving stuff from one place to another. If you do it with intention, it is not just moving things. If you've made decisions that says, yes, this thing I'm moving is something I want to keep, sometimes you do need to temporarily put it one place um, on its way to its final place. Okay, there we go. Carla Jane says, I just sent you mine to share. Okay, thank you, Carla. And hey, y'all are so welcome to come to Alabama. We have a Bluebell ice cream factory in our little town, and we are known for our white marble. We will treat you. Oh, isn't that sweet? That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And this is something I shared with Carla earlier. So I don't know if you can see this on the screen. This is from the days when I used to collect old, kind of tacky souvenirs from places. This was from, I think, Myrtle Beach, the gay code. Yeah, duh. It says Myrtle Beach right there, and I'm looking at the wrong thing. So this is the destination, right? This picture is what you want it to look like, but this is a puzzle, and it's one of those tile puzzles. How can I move this? It's one of those tile puzzles, and it's little and it's plastic, but sometimes you will temporarily need to move something where it doesn't belong in order to get something closer to where it is. Now, this, so listen, this torso isn't supposed to be here. So sometimes it will take some of this shuffling around in order to get it to the right place. Have fun with that. I really gooped this up. It's going to be fun getting this back here. Judy Dukes is going to send her info too. Cool. Yeah. So just keep in mind, it may take a couple of times to get things to where they are supposed to belong. And it may be having to do in a certain order. Now, this is really, it was 98 cents. How many years ago? It slides. Anyhow, you guys get the idea, right? Right. I'm going to work on that. There we go. Come on, Myrtle. Come on, Myrtle the turtle. There we go. Okay, here. I'm shuffling things around here. And it's a game. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. Okay, that goes there. So you're moving stuff around, and sometimes they need to go in certain orders, but you're there. Laura also sent her RSVP for pen paling. I love it. No, Carla Jane, please. I got to head to the eBay to get one of those. You do not add to your clutter. The only reason I have it, this is a business expense. I'm going to business expense 98 cents from the Gay Dolphin gift cove. No, it's just to show the visual of the concept. Okay. So y'all are playing it, and staging is what we would call it when we would do visual merchandising. A palette, you get the new stuff in, and you had to make room for the Christmas decor, in July at Pier 1. And so we would stage it, and then we would have to move things to shuffle things around there were stages of the process. And you knew that it was all that stuff pushed up against the wall was temporary in order to get things set the way you wanted it to. And sometimes when you're decluttering, you don't quite know where you want things to go at the beginning. You want to save something, but you may not know where exactly you want it to live. Yeah. And okay, so yeah, print a picture, take a picture, it'll last longer right here, this type of thing. And your daughter, yeah, she totally does it at the TJ. Now, the cool thing is that they have fixed fixtures. That's why they call them fixtures. We used to assemble things when we were in Pier 1. It was a little bit different, but it's the same concept, You need to pull some things off of the shelves and then pack them away in order to bring out the new stuff, Oh, funny. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. The gay dolphin, Monica Kennedy. I love that it's still there. That was one of those ticky-tacky places I visited back in the 90s. So fun. Yep. Yep. And I remember they had that wall oh, here we go. Hold on. I told you I used to collect cheesy things like this. So they used to have the wall of little license plates that you would put on the back of your bike or something. So I have a few of these. I started a collection, and then I said, whoa, I got to watch on this one. But I've kept a few. I swear, I think this was mine from when I was a little kid. And if they do still do have it, that's wicked fun. I may be tempted by the fruit of another. So you can keep things, you can give them away. I, these things have been in a few different places in my life. And at the moment, oh, they live right there. They have a home. Sometimes you don't know where the home is going to be for stuff until you move it around a couple of places. Do these pillows look good in this room or do they look better there? What would it look like if we put the bookcase like this? And sometimes you know in advance, and other times you play around with it. And the end result is so you feel good about the decision you made. You like how things look and it feels good. If it doesn't feel good and you're looking at it like you're not sure, play around with it, and temporary is okay. What was that word we were using today, Carla? Oh, it was a good one. It was about being very temporary, and I wrote it down, I'm sure, but embrace the lightness of it, the temporariness. Pretend you're making a fort in your house like you did when you were a little kid with like couch cushions and blankets and stuff. And yes, and McDoug's says when you know, you know. Yeah, and you know how you see it, but you feel it, don't you? That's how I knew it. Like even today when I was assembling the patio furniture, I was adjusting where it was going to be in the corner. And I pushed it. I said, "Oh, I can get closer to that wall." But then I stepped back and I said, "Oh no, that's not working for me because the corners don't align." So then I pushed it out. Makeshift. Thank you, Carla Jane. Makeshift. Yeah, makeshift. That's fine. That's fine to be, a makeshift, a temporary on the way to the more permanent. And just think of how temporary we were talking about that, about how light it is camping. You've got a tent, traveling light and being able to move stuff around. Traveling light and makeshift means you're going to make a shift. I don't know. I don't know the origins of it, but then you're going to make something that's temporarily going to work for you until you decide if that's where you permanently want it. Yes, your planning station. Right. Yeah. Oh, that'd be a fun. Instead of calling this my office and my desk, this is my planning station. I like that. I like that. So if things are making you feel heavy, use lighter words, you know, use lighter furniture. Um, don't buy the heavy stuff until you're absolutely sure that that's where you want it. It's okay to be working off of a card table, until you find the thing you want and where you want it. Do I want my desk facing this way or do I want it that way? Do I want my back to the door? No. Do I want to be out in the middle of those two windows? I don't know. Play around with it. Play and have some fun. Play and have some fun with it. Okay. I hope you played and hope you had some fun today. Were there some things that you could mark in a color of fun on your desk calendar here? Now the funny thing is technically you can see there's no pink right there. But if I were to go through and highlight things, I took a shower, I went for a walk, I went to the library and got the book out I wanted. I put the clothes in the dryer, I vacuumed my room. That felt good to do it. It wasn't that bad. Now, did I put the winter clothes in the bins and closet? Nope, still there. That's okay. Did I hang up my summer clothes? Nope. Did I open up that bag of paperwork for my mother? No. But I made an appointment to have somebody help with the car. I set up the new patio furniture. A friend came over to measure because he's going to make us a table. The guy came to look at the basement. I love that. Oh, here's the thing I wrote down in the morning. Okay. Um, I promised you guys from the 8 o'clock. Remember when I had the door open because my husband wasn't home and the door was pink? And I said I could not remember the color of the door to my husband's music studio. I said gray. It's so funny. I'm like, I know that's wrong because I would never paint a door gray. The color to his door is lime green. So here are the colors of the doors in our house. It goes pink, my room, aqua, bedroom, lime green, his room. Then the outside of the bathroom door is bright orange. The outside of the basement door is actually the same color as this pink, but it's just around the corner, so it doesn't look matchy matchy. Um, and I was inspired by two places. I was inspired by a place in Wildwood, New Jersey called I think it was the Lollipop Motel. Very cute mid-century modern place, and a hotel in Palm Springs that I actually have on the shower curtain in our room called the saguaro, like the cactus. So notice what you get inspired by, and can you bring a little bit of that fun vacation inspiration into your house? That's what I like. Fun vacation inspiration. Fun vacation inspiration. Yeah. Yeah. So lime green. Yeah. I was thinking gray and I'm like, nah, that's not it. But I love fun colors. Sometimes, they cheer me up. But I will say this, I love the fun colors, but sometimes coming into this room that I consciously did not paint the walls any color, but I just have the pops of color from my decor. It's a nice change from the colorful walls. It's a nice contrast. It's a nice peaceful place. Similarly, in the bedroom, there's not a lot of decorative stuff. There literally is a mirror and a framed thing and a framed thing and a framed thing and a lamp, and that's about it. Because when I go to bed, I want to feel restful. I don't want my eyes always having to work at identifying things. Okay. Yeah, and Louise, this is going to happen. It happens to us. So Louise says, I unpacked a vase that I have had for years. I tried making it work in different rooms today. I think it's a no-go and it's time for it to move on. Yeah, you gave it an opportunity and there's just not a place. I do this a lot in my head when I'm out shopping because I love, like, for example, there's these plastic round, they call them spaghetti lamps. They're from like the 50s and 60s, maybe 50s, 60s, 70s. You've seen them. They're like spun colored plastic. I think they look so damn cute. So cool. And yet, just the way our house is set up, our ceilings don't seem as high. There's not really one good place to put them. But every time I see one, I say, okay, if I decided to spend the money on that, where exactly would I hang it? And if I don't have a place that feels right, I don't buy it. Now, if I got one that was wicked cheap, I could probably find a place for it. But I just offer to you, experiment with things until you find a place that feels right. And if it doesn't feel right, maybe that's just the indication that it's okay to let it go. You gave it a shot. Maybe there's a better home it belongs to. Um, Playing around with your stuff. I've done this all the time, kind of making little vignettes and decorating. I think I've always done that as, not to get too deep about stuff, but like, when you live in your parents' house, you don't have control over a lot. It's not really your home. You can't say, I'm going to paint the living room or move the couch or buy a chair because it isn't really your house. It's really their house that you happen to temporarily live in. So even during those times, making forts or decorating your room or collecting certain things gives you a sense of things that you can control and you get to decide what you like. And you say, well, when I grow up, I'm going to have my house look like this. And my house is pretty much the complete opposite of the house that I grew up in. Now, that's okay. My parents had different tastes than me, but it's fun to get in touch with what brings you joy and be able to be surrounded by that. And the things that bring us joy um, change, change throughout the years. Think about the things that brought you joy when you were 2 or 3 years old. They're probably not the same things that brought you joy when you were 12 or 13. Now, some of the things that brought you joy when you were 12 or 13, how did that work when you were 22 or 23? Now, then we kind of get into, like, I call them like the plateau years. It's like you're born and then you have this upward curve, and then like your 20s, 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, and maybe part of your 50s, you kind of feel like the same person. At least I did, or variations of. You always think you're kind of there. At a certain point though, things start to change. And suddenly, you may be in that time of life where the stuff that used to bring you joy isn't doing it anymore. Or maybe one of the things that brought you joy was going out and accumulating items, but now you're noticing that if you accumulate items and you don't release any of them out there, they start to build up and become overwhelming. Allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to reinvent yourself. It's okay to say, yes, I used to like that, but I don't anymore. doesn't mean anything bad. It can actually mean something good. Maybe you're evolving. The neat thing is maybe you're finding yourself new things that bring you joy that you never knew before. That to me is fun. I don't want to be like Peggy Lee. It's that all there is. I retired and all I do is like I think about people. I when my husband and I were dating, and when we got shortly after we got married too, we lived in a resort town in Delaware where he grew up. And I could see these people that worked all their lives to retire. And then what did retirement end up being? It's like, well, I'll go to the beach, I'll go to lunch, I'll go shopping, I'll have a cocktail. The next day, the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. Now, I think that's fun in the short term, but in the long term, I want something else, you know? And I just offer to you, allow yourself, don't be so rigid, allow yourself the flexibility to transform into what feels like you want to transform into. Now, Carla Jane is saying absolutely you can change multiple times over and over too. I have just in a year. Yeah, I've gone from, I mean, think about the jobs you've had in your life, the relationships that you have that maybe you don't have anymore, the haircuts you used to have. Now, I've always kind of been a short haircut kind of person because my hair is so thick. But I've had different colors, I've had different cuts, I've had half my head shaved in the old punk rock days. Think of the foods you used to like strained peas or something, you know, or Captain Crunch. Are you eating those things now? Did you ever think you'd like kale as much as you do now? Did you ever realize, oh my God, I crave a salad because I was eating such stuff? Me, I'm kind of bummed, frankly, that ice cream does not bring me the joy it used to. It brings me a rumbly tumbly, as I like to say. I can have a little bit of it, but it doesn't light me up like it used to. But that's okay because there's other things that light me up that didn't before. So I just share this with you. It's okay to change. And sometimes when you're changing, the stuff in your house will reflect an outdated version of yourself. Again, that's okay. You can choose to keep that stuff. Our house, we've been here 20 years, and I realize that if I moved in here today, being who I am, it may look the same, but it also may look different. I think about this if I ever moved out of this house. What would I bring with me to my new house? And what would I say, okay, maybe not. Or perhaps I would initially bring it to the new house, but then I would actually see if it even fit. So I'd give myself the opportunity to travel more lightly and bring only the things I truly love. So, yeah, I love it. Cheryl just said, and who knew? Who knew? Lol, I had Captain Crunch for supper tonight, still loving it at 64 years old. I had a bowl of cereal for breakfast last night, and I actually had, I know this is going to sound like an old person, I had like bran flakes because I had a rumbly tumbly and I wanted just something, had a little bit of fiber in it. Captain Crunch, I used to love those crunch berries. I actually got sick as a child once by eating too many. We didn't have sugared cereal that often. But Captain Crunch, I used to eat it even though it used to cut up the roof of my mouth. Fruity Pebbles was my jam. Fruity Pebbles. My mother tried to kick me of that habit by buying a ton of it. There was something about the fruity and the texture of the rice. I feel like I want to buy some right now. Mmm, good stuff. Good stuff. And isn't this what being an adult is all about? Like, instead of adulting as being a bad thing, ooh, Laura Voorhees that says the peanut butter Captain Crunch is on the top of my fridge now. Ooh, I love that. That sounds good. Here's what we used to think adulting was, and it still is. I think adulting gets a bad rap when it's just all the pain in the ass stuff you have to do. I wrote to myself, I get to do anything I want to do whenever I want to do it. I get to eat Captain Crunch for dinner anytime I want. I will never forget once, I don't think the mom was too pleased about this. Um, when I was living in Medford, Massachusetts, this was whatever, the mid 90s, and there was a ice cream store down the street. It was called Brigham's. Brigham's used to be a chain in New England, and I loved Brigham's. This was one of the last remaining ones. And I walked down and I was eating ice cream sundae at the counter, and it was around dinner time. And I can't remember how it came up, but there was this little girl sitting next to me with her mom, and she said something about my ice cream. And I turned to her, I said, "Yeah, you know what the cool thing is? When you're an adult, you can have ice cream for dinner if you want, and nobody can tell you you can't." And to me, that is pretty fun. Girl dinner. Oh, completely girl dinner. Yeah. Declutter the leftovers, Yes. And Ruth Barry, Meffa, Med Ford, Meffa. Um, no, I love it. We maybe we'll get sponsored by Captain Crunch. Carla says my son and daughter both love Captain Crunch, but they joke still and say you have to be willing to tough out the hurt of the roof of your mouth. Truth. Yeah. You know, I know. Seriously, are we all going to go out to the store and buy some Captain Crunch? I will not. I know that I would prefer a different kind of sugared cereal just because I don't want to scratch up the roof of my mouth. But man, I'm thinking some Fruity Pebbles might hit the spot. Ruth, you got me. Yeah, Brigham's. So good. They still have the ice cream in the grocery stores. It's not the same, but those little thin Jimmies, the little sprinkles, so good, so good. Uh-huh. I love it. Ooh, and look, it's the second time of the day we've heard pluviophile, a person who likes it when it rains. You guys, and what was her name? Shirley Manson. I'm only happy when it rains. It's a garbage song, right? So notice the things that you carry along with you. Notice I carry a lot of random info in my head, but I enjoy it. I don't want to declutter that. If anything, I want to try to remember all those, things. I've been having the best of time on TikTok looking at the Sesame Street things that I totally forgot. And then yet when they start playing it, I start singing the whole song. I look at Bob from Sesame Street, who I swear I had a crush on when I was like 3 or 4. Um, the things that you bring with you and the things that you leave behind. You know? I love it. Oh, Christine, yes, half asleep, I can imagine. Well, thank you for joining us from your sleep bed. We're all going there soon. 8:42 p.m. Eastern time. hmm And notice how you feel when you're hanging out with good people. We're not being mean, we're not being angry. There's plenty to be angry about, but we're being loving and supportive and we're having fun. And that will set you up to do important things for yourself and for other people. So it is not greedy, it is not selfish, it is important to have community. And I feel honored that you guys hang out here and that we all get together. This is why I do the TikTok lives and the YouTube lives. Now, speaking of, I am going to go to like the shallow end because I just realized too, yes, tomorrow morning is the big morning with the 8 o'clock TikTok live, the 9 a.m. declutter party, 9 a.m. Eastern, and the 11 o'clock YouTube live. Now, I say this because I cannot believe it, but tomorrow's Thursday already. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I will be traveling. It's so funny. We have a friend over right now who's doing some songwriting stuff with my husband. He and his wife are going up to like Boston and Maine. I and my husband and I are going up to Vermont and New Hampshire. So I said, "Oh, this is funny. You're going to be on one side of New England and I'm going to be on the other side." We're going to be more maple. They're going to be more lobsters, but it's all good. So I say that to you that there are plenty of recordings to keep you connected. I did get some people sharing some info. Let me just check this too. I will figure out. I want to make. Okay, we got some people changing some stuff. So I won't be around live, but you are still connected. Maybe you guys follow each other or like people on TikTok. Maybe you find each other on TikTok and you just follow each other there, or on Instagram or some of the other socials, you know? Um, but even when I'm not around, no, you're not alone. Yeah, we don't tolerate the mean or the ugly here. No, no, we don't, because that's not helpful to anybody. And it really makes the world a worse place. And we want to make our lives better and the lives of other people. We are so lucky to have clutter. Clutter is too much. There are some people who have nothing. So reminding yourself of the good stuff you have. And it's okay that you thought it was maybe going to, do something good in your life and it ended up not working out. That's okay. The sooner you realize that and the sooner you remove it, the more space you have to just enjoy the space, or space you have to be more intentional with what you pull in the next time. Okay. I love it. Christine says, "Does anyone else read Carla Jane's comments in her sweet Southern accent?" I know I do. I love it. Yeah, we be kind, helpful, and demure. Well, maybe not so demure, but you know what? We can say it with a little wink, right? Now, Judy Duke says, "I'm partying at 9 a.m. So many things I could work on. I need to choose which area for the party." Okay. Judy, here's what I would recommend for and anybody doing the declutter party. For those of you who haven't done it, many of you have, I know that, but it's an hour and a half long ish because it's a soft ending. We just kind of wind down. We don't, it doesn't stop immediately. It's not a machine. But there are three chunks of um 20 minutes where you can focus down on something. Now, with so many things to choose from, you can play around with it. What I would say is, what's some stuff that you know you couldn't easily do on your own? You can choose to do something, and I would say this something of a kind of chunk downable nature, because what you are going to benefit from during the party is that focus, but also support, that encouragement to not shy away from something that you're scared to do and to chunk down whatever it is, so I just offer to you, use the parties, use our time together. It's kind of like why it is so important for me to remind folks that when we do a live, to engage, because in a live you can engage and interact. You can't do that with a video. So use these times for um, the best thing you can. So we are there for you, Judy Dukes. What's some stuff that you may just need a little bit of hand holding and encouragement to just kind of chunk down and work through? There's plenty of stuff you can do on your own time that's going to be no big deal. um, but I just offer to you, think of something that's chunk downable, and we can help you through it. We can help you through it. And can you imagine an hour, three chunks, what you might be able to get done? Again, a la that woman, Christy, I think her name is, on again TikTok, where she says, "How long does it really take?" Maybe something you've been dragging your feet on maybe won't even take one 20-minute chunk. Getting yourself with the encouragement and the mindset of this is what I'm going to do. Okay. Now it's so funny. I love this. Sue says, "You remind me of abundance, and it is a game changer." That's the very first. I have a bunch of words that I've written down: abundance, generosity, flexibility, peace of mind, unexpected delights, engagement, leisure, curiosity. Oh, there's something else behind there. There we go. So, yeah, sharing is donating. Sharing my abundance, donating by sharing my abundance. Yeah. And I love it. Carla says, "I don't even realize I talk that way." See, y'all talk right, and I don't even realize I speak a whole other language. If you guys ever heard me up in Boston after a drink and I'm tired, barely an R. It's not wicked bad, but you can tell even me saying wicked bad. So very funny. Um, I love it. Okay, Louise is calling uncle on this one. "My plan was to vacuum the bedroom and bathroom while this is live, putting on the brakes because my back is done in, so no steaming the bathroom floor tonight." That's okay. That's okay. I love Louise. I love that you are paying attention to how your body feels. Think of how many times you ignored yourself, and maybe you didn't even have the opportunity. Maybe there were times in your life, like I think of how lucky we all are that we don't work in like the triangle shirtwaist factory, that we have the ability to choose when we go to the bathroom. We have the ability to choose to stop doing our decluttering and sitting down and taking a break. You know, we have the ability to choose to listen to this. And as Christine did some dishes and light vacuuming thanks to this live. I love it. I love it. So feel good about what you did. Feel grateful that you can clock out anytime you want, that nobody's standing over you with a whip saying faster, more, harder, except for maybe yourself. But that's what coaching's for, you know? And McDoug says, "You really have created a great group here. I'm very grateful plugging along while everyone chats." And hey, you know what? It's not me. It isn't. It's all y'all. This would not be, I would be talking into the ether if it wasn't for each and every one of you. And each person brings a unique perspective and a story and an accent and an age and all of the wonderful things. There's something that's uniting us. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? And it's one person at a time that creates a great group. Yeah. Okay. I love it. Yes. And Patty M. Notice this is so important. Patty M is sitting and thinking of the things I didn't get done. Yeah, you could easily do that. You could easily do that and feel bad about it. But she says, my digital frame is next to me, seeing all the smiles and good times. It's not all about the clutter, it's about time together. 100%. I want to be very clear. Even though I am a decluttering life coach and I will say this, decluttering and life coach, spreading them apart. I would so much rather you live a life you love with a slightly cluttered home than have a perfectly decluttered home, but not spend the time with the things that are important, which are people and experiences and connection. Okay. So please remember the life as well as the decluttering. That's why I invented that term, decluttering life coach. Because if I'm a decluttering coach, it's almost like all I'm doing is telling you to declutter. And I just want to tell you to live. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Oh, okay. So Carla's going through some stuff. The soon to be ex is getting kind of ugly. You know what? It's going to be a rumbly part of the road, but you'll get through it. You know, we gave him my parents' furniture and he stored it locally. Now he has decided he doesn't want to pay for the storage. Okay. He wants to let it go. I called and said, we will pay for the next month or so. We have decided to have folks come and get it for next to nothing just to help people. Isn't that great? Look at, you're taking an ugly situation and you're not getting ugly yourself. You know, you are doing something good for other people. You will not let the turkeys get you down. You will not go down to that level. I love that. Um, and I love this too. And it's this, I don't, this never really occurred to me. So Cheryl, thank you for bringing this up. She says, I still work full time from home, teleworking, so I do not have a lot of social outlets. And that is another reason I love this group and learn so much. Yeah. Now, I will admit, I am blessed that outside of this, I truly feel lucky to have the friends I have in so many different circles. I do not take it for granted at all. But I know that I am lucky to have that. And so I know the importance of that connection. So I am really glad that we have this group and these people and just this opportunity at this time in our lives with technology to be able to do this. Um, I don't know if I don't know how long I will be a decluttering life coach. I will be honest with you. I don't see the end anytime soon. But again, there's certain things you say, I'll never get sick of this. And then maybe you get sick of it. Or maybe something else happens. Maybe you get another other event. So what I say is, yeah, let's embrace the time we have. Embrace the time we have. Remember the good times. Thinking back tonight when you're in bed and think of the good stuff that happened today. And you can include this um, YouTube live, saying hi to your friends and people across the miles that you don't really know, but they're nice and you're getting along and you feel a connection. Do not um, do not dismiss that. I feel like a lot of what is going on with this world is people feeling sad and lonely and disconnected and afraid. So let's not be sad, lonely, disconnected, and afraid. Let's be happy, connected, together, and full of love. Okay? Yeah. Aw. I just love watching you guys connecting with each other. It's great. It's so cool. Yeah. Yeah, and Carla was saying, I thought just this morning how isolated some people feel, yet we are so connected via the internets. Yeah, and phones, etc. Mhm. There's so much opportunity for connection, but it also, at the same token, how many people feel isolated because they see pictures of houses that they don't have, and they see people on vacations that they don't have, and they feel like their skin doesn't look this. There can be a lot of isolation, but when you're connected with people, so much of that superficial stuff just falls away. You could be sitting on somebody's cement back steps and sipping on a thing of water because I got to drink some more water and have some good time. This is the funny thing about living in kind of a capitalist society is people who will make money just by selling you items will convince you that items will make you happy. They don't want you to know that the things that make you the happiest are often free. Water, thank goodness for healthy water for the time being. Breathing, hopefully clean air, food that is safe to eat, connection, helping out each other, those really kind of primal, kind of community based things, helping one another, that connection, that support. Because when I'm strong, I will support you. And it's not an expectation, but when I'm stumbling, somebody will come and help me. Yeah. And connecting through the decluttering process is big. Yeah, you're right, Sue. Because many of us feel alone and not knowing what to do, and everybody else has got it figured out, and I'm the only one, and I'm so ashamed that I have so much clutter that I don't even invite people over. There are how many people following me on YouTube, and it's a fraction of some of these other ones, like 37,000 people, something crazy like that. My goodness. I think that's bigger than the amount of people that live in my town. That's okay. It means you're not alone. It means there's something about how we are living today that has caused so many of us to have the affliction of being cluttered. Now, I could probably write a thesis on it, but I'm not going to, you know? But the other thing too is, I truly see fewer people now more than ever, but now feel more overwhelmed when I do go into town. Yeah, because we can get overwhelmed by human connection. So it's good to have maybe a little bit of distance. But I share with you, we got some good people here. Keep yourself being a good person. Do not let what's going on in the world harden your heart, turn you into somebody mean and selfish who doesn't want to help other people, that knows that at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, it doesn't matter how much, I mean, it's what my cousin said at my aunt's funeral, you know, it doesn't matter the cars, the clothes, the cash. It's like what you meant to people and how you lived your dash. At the end of your life, imagine yourself on your deathbed and think of all the things you would be grateful for. Now, everybody, nobody died tonight, okay? I'd freak out and that would be awful. But tonight, imagine yourself being 110 years old and you're just laying there in bed and you're thinking back to when you were in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 30s, however, whatever decade you're in now. Think back all those decades to where you are now and be grateful that you are learning about yourself and doing good things, that you're not hardening your heart against your fellow human, that you are continuing to grow and learn and do good things. And what a wonderful way to go through life, you know? So good stuff, people. Good stuff. Now, I will admit, I cannot wait to go take my bra off, brush my teeth, wipe my face, snuggle into bed with my teddy bear, and then later my husband, you know? Yeah. And yeah, and Carla says, and the things you say and the way you treat folks far outlive you. They do. They really do. I think about the people who still live on in my heart, you know? Um, Now, this is fun. We're going to leave on a silly note. Getting your senses activated into what needs to be decluttered. Laura Voorhees says PU. I wonder what PU really stands for. I mean, we make it as a sound. PU. Something smells. She says apparently the kitty litter box needs to be decluttered. So notice we get deep, we go shallow, we're all over the place because that's what it's like to be a human. And what I find is when you stay shallow, you don't get the value, you don't get that true sense of the full experience. So, as we sign off today, what I just want to say is when you go to bed tonight, think back. You're not even 110 years old right now. Think back on your decades and pull the good stuff out. Be so glad you learned some lessons when you learned them, that you met people when you met them, that you had those experiences. Maybe they're not in your life anymore, but you still had them then. Think of the good things, have some sweet dreams, and I will see many of you tomorrow on 8 o'clock TikTok, 9 o'clock Declutter Party, and or 11 o'clock YouTube Live. Okay? It's bra taking off time, people. Okay. I'm psyched. I will see you tomorrow. This was a lovely, fun hang. Okay. Yes. Good night, sweet dreams, and lots of love and smiles. Good night. Sleep tight and pleasant dreams to you. And I'll see you in the morning.